3.7 billion years ago. We're going to be here for a minute. The first microbes were born from lifeless matter in the ocean. I like to think that we aren't alone in the universe, but so far we found no evidence to show that we have any company here. So, assuming that life itself has existed for 3.7 billion years, that means you, American teenage human, had a 1 in 138 million chance of being born within the class of 2025. Furthermore, you had a 1 in 125 chance of being born as a human. Even more, you had a 19.1% chance of being born into what we call a first world country, where you have more opportunities than most in the world. My math is rough, but this means that to be born into this generation, you beat the odds about 3.294 trillion to 1. You'll see why this matters in a minute. In her speech, Whitley reminded us of where we've been these last 4 years, what we've experienced, and what we've achieved. Although I would like to say, after having spent 2 years with Mr. Crickmore, I came away having learned more about Transformers than I did Pokemon. Whitley reminded us of just how far we've come during these 4 years, although I think I speak for us all when I say we have not peaked in high school. While the best is yet to come is an easy phrase to fit into most graduation speeches, I truly believe this phrase is especially applicable to the class of 2025. So after Whitley has reminded us of where we have come from, I will use this speech instead to consider what we have ahead of us. For better or worse, humanity is fast approaching a multitude of tipping points, historic events and changes that will come to their full fruition at the height of our careers. These are the changes that the class of 2025 cannot sit out on. We must lend our efforts to the development of new technologies, the exploration of new frontiers, and the rethinking of our social structures. When the time comes to develop a vaccine for cancer, or connect fusion reactors to the grid, or step foot onto another planet, it will be us at the helm. Our parents will be too old. Look at Mr. Kaiser. Our children will be too young, and it will be entirely up to us to determine the future course of human history. While it may seem a daunting task, I encourage you to look at this as an opportunity. Every ounce of good that you put into the world today could go miles further than anything you could do if you were born at any different moment in human history, even if you don't feel ready for it yet. Let me explain. There are countless milestones that we are on course to achieve during our lives that will set the precedent for generations to come, that whether directly or indirectly, each of you will contribute to, whether as a chef, an astronaut, a therapist, or a dentist. I'm particularly excited about one. See, life has only been sustained, as far as we know, on one planet, Earth. And the class of 2025 will be the ones to make a jump to a second, Mars. If aliens are watching us, they won't care about the time we made the first tool. They won't care about the Industrial Revolution or the Treaty of Versailles, I'm sorry, Mr. Wade. But they will notice when we become a multiplanetary species. This is when we'll enter a new category of civilization, and it'll be the defining first achievement of a spacefaring civilization. And above its symbolic value, this will set a precedent for our posterity. Will we explore and inhabit new worlds as a unified species, as an exclusive or privileged nation, or as a profit-incentivized corporation? Our world and our future worlds are our children's to live in, but they are ours to create. It has to be us to create them, because it is only a matter of time before we can no longer justify expending resources towards any other goal than saving our own planet. This leads me to my second point. In addition to the many achievements the class of 2025 is set to accomplish within our lives, there are also countless obstacles that we must overcome. Chiefly among them, climate change threatens to wipe out entire land masses, annihilate biodiversity that, as far as we know, exists nowhere else in the universe, exacerbate inequality, and close our windows to the heavens. We globally face the question of whether or not the checks and balances of our political systems will hold up to the forces of fascism, and how will we respond if they fail? Some of these events don't feel like much to look forward to at all, and it is true, the class of 2025 will be certainly up against a lot. And yet, I encourage you to look forward to the inspiring milestones just as much as you anticipate the daunting challenges. Because we can make the bad better just as much as we can make the good great. And I would trust no one more than the people sitting in this room to create that path forward. It doesn't mean you have to be good at math today. I mean, earlier in the speech, despite everything Ms. Boogie tried to teach me, I compared ounces and miles as if they were the same unit. It does mean, however, that you have to try. There are 8 billion people in this world, although I heard that they counted that wrong. And we'll need every last one of them to make this century count. Let's rise to the challenge, class of 2025. Thank you.